Thank you. I have a question for you guys. What do you want in life? If I could wave a magic wand and help you achieve anything, what would you wish for? Health, wealth, love? We all have hopes and dreams, but what are you doing right now to make it happen? The sad truth is most people aren't doing anything. In fact, a study by the University of Scranton found that only 8% of people believe that they have achieved their goals in life. And that makes me sad. So the real question becomes, what do you need to succeed? And I believe the answer is the arts. Now, when I say the arts, I'm talking about music, theater, dance, drawing, painting, writing, all of these things that we all have a passion for, we all have in common whether it's little babies coming out of the womb and doing a little dance you see on TikTok, all the way through to foreign dictators, a caveman, you name it. And there's plenty of information out there on how the arts can help you improve your life. But today I want to focus specifically on how it can help you achieve your goals. So that has to start with a story. Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, when I was a little girl, it was my dream to change the world through the arts. And it's still very much my goal today. I feel like it's my purpose in life. So from the age of 5 all the way through to university, I studied music and theater and dance. I got degrees in all of those areas. I also got a degree in business as well. And my career really didn't start until I was about 14, 15 years old, when I walked into the journalism room at my high school, and I had seen that we had done an interview with a little actress you may have heard of. Her name was Julia Roberts. Anybody have? Yeah, we've heard of her. And I said to my teacher, her name was Tina Lane, I said, how did we, this small little newspaper, get this interview with such a mega superstar? And what she said changed my life forever, and I hope it changes yours as well. She said, you can reach anyone, anywhere, with 7 phone calls and knowing the right thing to say. Now, this was back in a time before internet, before personal computers, before mobile phones. I'm very old. So if I could do it back then with 7 calls, I reckon today you could do it with about 2 phone calls and knowing the right thing to say. So I went home and I thought, who do I want to meet? And I looked at the walls of my teenage bedroom, and I came up with this guy. Do we know who this is? Andre Agassi, absolutely. Oh, so smart this audience is. And next thing I know, I'm backstage with my press pass, and I'm interviewing Andre, and through all of my teenage years when everybody else was out partying, I was lucky enough to get to meet the musicians and the people in theater, the actors, that I really loved and adored. I was out there interviewing them. That was the start of my career in TV, and radio, and media, and marketing. And I've been really lucky over the past 20 years to be able to work with and get to know and become friends with A-list celebrities and the leaders of some of the most iconic brands. Now, it would be really cheesy for me to name drop, so I'm just going to picture drop here for a second and let you get the idea here. Now, in 2004, I fulfilled another dream, and I moved from New York to London, where I got to start my own marketing and media agency called Sarsaparilla Marketing. Now, at first, we were like any other training and consultancy agency, but I didn't feel like I was making my difference. I didn't feel like I was fulfilling that purpose. So we started incorporating the arts into everything that we do. And something really interesting started to happen. In the past, we had helped our clients increase their profits and productivity by 250% on average. But when we added the arts in, that number jumped up to 600%. Now, I was very happy with this. My clients were very happy with this. But it made me start to think, what is this correlation between the arts and success? There's clearly something there. So we started to do some research, and we asked the leaders of non-creative industries, finance, pharma, tech, all of those guys, because we didn't want to bias the results. We constantly asked them a whole bunch of questions pertaining to the arts. And here's what we found. 75% of them say that they have studied the arts. 83% say they studied as kids and then studied into adulthood and still study to this day. 80% say that they use the skills from the arts in their everyday life. But here's the really interesting statistic. 100% believe that they have achieved their goals in life. So there's definitely some sort of correlation going on here for sure. Now you may be thinking, that's great, Kim, but what does that got to do with me? And so what I'd like to do now is give you guys 3 things that you can do to apply the arts into your life to help you achieve your goals. But to do that, I'm going to need to ask a favor. I'm going to need to ask you to be a little interactive with me, answer questions nice and loud, maybe even repeat some things back to me. Is that okay? Yes. Oh, you could do better than that. Is that okay? Yes. Oh, I got a hell yes. Absolutely. I love it. Okay. So the first thing, let's get started here. The first thing I want to do is talk to you about embracing the performer's mindset. What's the first thing you need to do? Embrace the performer's mindset. Excellent, thank you. Now, this section is comprised of 2 things. The first is removing limiting beliefs. What's the first thing? Removing limiting beliefs. Exactly. Performers get rejected all of the time. In fact, they get rejected so much, they've learned to love the word no. They are masters at turning I can't into I can, negatives into positives. 3 great examples for you would be J.K. Rowling, who was rejected 12 times over Harry Potter before she got a publisher. Oprah Winfrey, who was told she was unfit for television. And Walt Disney, who was fired for his first job for not being creative enough. Now, can you imagine if these people had listened to those negative voices in their head or the people who told them no? How different our world would be without their contributions. But they knew how to remove limiting beliefs as part of the performer's mindset. Now, the second thing is overcoming obstacles. What's the second thing? Overcoming obstacles. Exactly. We've all heard the saying, the show must go on. And that really encompasses part of the performer's mindset because it doesn't matter what's going on behind the scenes. It doesn't matter what's going on in an actor's personal life or any performer's personal life. All that matters is they get out there and they deliver every single time. Now imagine how much more productive your life would be if instead of every time something negative came along or something that feels really impossible came along, instead of getting overwhelmed by it, if you embraced the performer's mindset and you were able to remove those limiting beliefs and think of that challenge as just like a puzzle that needs to be worked out instead of this big, huge mountain that can't be climbed. Imagine how much more productive you would be. I get clients coming to me all of the time saying, Kim, I'm not really very creative. This isn't really my thing. I don't know if that I really could do this. And I say, that's okay, because you don't need to be a great performer to give a great performance. In fact, if you think about it, most of the most successful people that we can think of maybe aren't always the best at what they do. A perfect example would be Madonna, who has the Guinness Book of World Records for the best-selling single artist of all time. She has sold 300 million albums, which is 50 million more than the next runner-up. That's a considerable lead. Now, is Madonna the greatest singer in the world, greatest dancer, greatest actress? Up for debate, but I think we'd probably say no. But when she was 26 years old and asked in an interview what comes next, her answer was to rule the world. That's the performer's mindset. And whether you realize it or not, every single day of your life, you are all using the arts. It's in everything that we do. When you talk and tell a story, that's theater. When you change the inflection in your voice so that people can understand what you're saying, that's singing. When you move, when you walk, when you ride a bike, when you use hand gestures? Let's try that again. When you use your hands to express yourself, that is body language, that is dancing. And when you write your name down, those are symbols. That's drawing. You know how to draw. So all this hogwash about, oh, I've got 2 left feet, or, oh, I don't have a creative bone in my body, or I'm tone deaf, it's just simply not true. You don't need to be Fred Astaire, or Beyoncé, or Picasso. You just need to be the best version of you. You don't need to be a great performer to give a great performance. You just need the performer's mindset. Now, the second item is participate more. What's the second item? Participate more. Well done. Now, when I work with my clients and I ask them to participate, I'm not talking about getting them up on the stage and dance like a circus animal. Sometimes participation can be something small. It can be listening to a piece of music, or watching a film clip from a movie for inspiration, or interacting in a TED Talk, like what I did there. If you think about it, what you're doing right now by participating with me, you're helping to embed these lessons deeper into your brain. You're having fun. It's engaging you in a different kind of a way that makes the learning go deeper into your brain. It sets off a chain reaction that looks a little something like this. And this is what I think is the reason behind the success that we saw with our clients. It starts off with adding the arts. And when you add the arts, let's face it, you're going to have a lot more fun. And if you're having more fun, it's going to pique your interest. It's going to hold your interest longer. That's going to increase your attention span. And then once you do that, you're going to remember more of what you've taken in. And then if you remember more, that means you're going to learn and be able to apply more, which ultimately leads to a greater level of success. Now, obviously, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out, and the faster that you'll see results. There's a big difference between sitting in the audience and saying, yeah, I can do that, and then actually standing on the stage under the lights. But whatever level that you decide to participate at, the key is just to remember to participate. Now, the third thing is find the right fit. What's the third thing? Find the right fit. Exactly. So let's say you're embracing the performer's mindset, you're participating more, awesome, bravo. Now, the next thing you need to think about is what area of the arts is going to help support you in your specific goal. What area of the arts provides that supplemental knowledge, information, skills that's going to help bring you to the next level? 2 great examples. American football players. We all know those guys. Big burly guys, helmets, big shoulder pad things on them. They're at the gym all of the time. They're out on the field playing and practicing all of the time. But what do those guys do to supplement their skills? They take ballet, of course. And I'm not talking about tap or jazz or any other form of dance. It's specifically ballet, because ballet gives them greater agility, greater flexibility, and greater coordination. Essentially, ballet makes them better football players. Another great example is the University of Pennsylvania did a study where they asked their medical students to take an art class where they would go and observe paintings and then come back and analyze them and discuss with the class. They found that these students who took this course had a much higher level of assessing and diagnosing their patients, which ultimately means that they became much better doctors. So the University of Pennsylvania now requires that, as part of the curriculum, their medical students take an art appreciation course. So you need to find what area of the arts is going to be the right fit for you and your goals, and supplement your learning and your knowledge and your skills with these items. Now, hopefully you're enjoying this talk. You're thinking, yeah, good, great, I'm going to apply some of these things. Wonderful. But the fact of the matter is, if you leave here today and you don't apply these skills, then this was a wasted 15 minutes of your life. and I don't want that to happen. So I want to take that 8% that the University of Scranton found, and I want to turn 100% of you guys into achieving your goals. So I'm going to leave you with a little piece of art, a little bit of artwork on my behalf here. This line represents your life. On average, most adults live to be 72 years old. Now, looking around this audience, I'm going to say most people are in their 30s, about halfway there. So we're going to paint in this little box. This is the past. We can't do anything about it. We can't change it. It is what it is. It's done. That means this line is the rest of your life. Another 35 years or more, we hope. 1/3 of it will be spent sleeping. 1/3 of it will be spent working. Another huge chunk of it will be spent on admin, brushing your teeth, washing your hair, traveling from place to place. That means if you live another 35 years, this is what's left of your time to pursue those goals and do those things that you want. Now, I don't want to depress you. I want to leave you on a happy note. But I just want to reiterate to you, we think we have a lot more time than we do. So there is no better time than now for you to go out and pursue your goals. Let the arts guide you. Bring the arts into your life. Let them help you achieve your goals. I like to think that today I've started to prove to you that there is a significant amount of input from the arts in helping you to achieve your goals. And remember, you don't need to be a great performer to give a great performance, because if I could do it at 14, 15 years old with no car, no money, no resources, nothing, then you can too. Good luck. Thank you.